Oh, tails. Let's talk about tails. So don't. Number one thing that I see, right, is if somebody is drawing somebody from the front, we just kind of have a person, and then they just kind of approximate where the tail goes. It usually starts from like up here. So this is a little too high up, and it feels like it's coming from the back. I think this is the most incorrect thing. We're talking about tails, right? Right, so tails are an extension of the spine. That's really all that they are. Think of like cats, dogs, right, birds. If you have like a cat, if you think of a cat. So cat tails in general, are like an extension of the spine. So they come out from where the spine extends, right? The tailbone on yourself, your tailbone, if you've ever landed hard, like if you've ever fallen and landed on your butt, and you kind of, there's this one section right above that hurts more than anything else, that's your tailbone. You can kind of feel it if you sort of press like below your lower back. There's like a one portion like right on the bottom of your spine that feels sharper than everything else. So that's your tailbone. It's like right above your butt, right? It's like right there. That is where your tail should sprout from. Tails, an extension of the spine. They should continue from the tailbone on a person. So if we were to draw them on somebody, so 2 ways you can do this. So if we have like, there's one way to do tails, right? If we continue the spine out, that means that the tailbone kind of starts around here, and that's one place where you can place the tail. So this is like the cat or dog. Extend the tailbone, keep integrity, like anatomy. Right, so this is the cat or the dog. You can do this with rats, you can do this with mice, all that fun jazz. You extend the tailbone, keep the integrity of leg anatomy. Right? This is the cat and the dog, the one that I think is harder to do, but is also correct.
If you'd like to support the channel and the creation of free arts education, become a member on Patreon.
This is what I like to call the alligator. The thing with this one, okay, so this is the alligator, is extend the spine and the torso. Shift the pelvis to adequate for legs. Alright, so this one you'd use a lot for reptiles, alligators, lizards if you choose, dragons if you choose. The thing with dragons is that yes, they are more reptilian, but you can mess around with it. You don't have to worry about that. You could go with this method as well because they are fictional, so it technically does not matter. But the alligator, you extend the spine out of the torso and you shift the pelvis to adequate for the legs, right? In this case, then if I were to draw this kind of like from the front, it'd be like, it's almost like you're drawing the pelvis like a mermaid, but then the legs are still there. So you have to kind of adequate, move the pelvis around, move the legs around in order for them to work. It's really weird. This one's really tough, especially if you choose to still continue to do, you know, like add pants on them. Yeah, it's like if you had like the person kind of from the front, and it would be like you extend. It would be almost like you draw them as a mermaid at first, but then you just kind of continue the legs. Like you'd have to push them out of the way. I had an alligator character when I was younger, and like it was always the worst. This was like in the middle, so this was high school. It was the middle of me figuring out how all this anatomy works. So like he was the worst to draw because of just how tough this section was, because it looks so unnatural. It looks so strange. Even though this is technically how it works, because if you look at an alligator, you know, their entire body is one. It's the same thing with like snakes, right? Their entire body is one big spine, right? So you just have to adjust and continue the pelvis downwards. So that's generally how I think of tails on a person, or just tails in general.
If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an upload. Join our art community with the links down below. If you'd like to support the channel and the creation of free arts education, become a member on Patreon for working files, behind-the-scenes posts, and discounts on our class offerings. If you enjoyed this video, here's a couple other videos you can check out next.